Charlie's Theron.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's obviously adopted 2 kids,
Hey,
yeah?
It's Charlize Theron.
That's the one, sir, that's the one.
Charlize
So
Theron.
she's adopted 2 black kids, yeah? 2 black boys.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then as they've been growing up, yeah, she's made them wear girls' clothes, talk to them like girls, make them treat like girls, yeah? Now, these boys are now girls. So all the pictures of these kids are girls with long hair, tail back. They look like girls and everything else. How is this been allowed that an actress has been able to adopt black boy kids, yeah, and then turn them into girls? We have been going through a couple good weeks now where this pedophilia scandal ring has been exposed and a lot of people have been exposed, and we have seen obviously the pain and the suffering from all of that. But one thing that I want to look at today is this new movement where they're trying to basically push pedophilia as a legit disorder condition, shall I call it? Called age fluid. So you guys obviously heard of a gender fluid, where you can identify as one gender one day and you can identify as another gender another day. So this age fluid is exactly the same. So today you could say I identify as an 8-year-old boy, meaning you could do things with an 8-year-old girl, supposedly, and then tomorrow you can go back to identifying as a 39-year-old man. Now, this is mad.
Mate. But what's the world coming to now, you know? Wow. So, yeah, where do I start? I mean, it's messed up. I mean, how I'm seeing it is everything is being normalized just because everything they want to push out, obviously, the quicker they normalize it is the quicker people will be on motion with it, on board with it, and try and see it as okay, you know, that's how they push it. Yeah. It's messed up.
Yeah, no, I hear that. Like, it's something really and truly, it's something I reckon they've been trying to push. I know they've been trying to push it for quite a while now, and there's different groups out there that are trying to push this sort of thing. And with the age fluid thing, as you were saying, I think that's potentially dangerous. Again, that's another thing for segregation. That's just going to cause a massive divide. You're going to have a certain section of people that are going to be like, yeah, I'm for it. And then you're going to have, I reckon, a big section of people that are going to want to try and lynch them in a way.
Yeah.
It's all going to be a lynch mentality. It will be a lynch mentality. I truly believe that.
Oh, I think anyone for it is going to get blasted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, straight away, without even thinking.
Which is right.
You know what I mean?
Which is right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, obviously, like, the way I see it is that my view is that's all wrong for me, innit? Like, I'm nowhere near part of that, and I don't think anyone should be. You know what I mean? Anyone that is part of that deserves to be going to prison. You know what I mean? Or potentially worse. You know what I mean? So, like, literally for me, I think it's going to be a lynch mentality, because I believe there'll be a much bigger group that's against it than with it. You know what I mean? But
and the difference in this is that normally you have 2 sides, yeah, like Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter, yeah. And the issues that stand are relative issues, which are real issues, innit, yeah? Where this is not anything like any of these things. We know as a society that it is wrong to take advantage of a child. So obviously the people who are going to be for this, I mean, they're literally going on a suicide mission, mate. You can't, like, if you're going for this, you need to, like, hide your address. Like, you know how many parents out there would be writing to the councils and saying, look, we need to know who lives on our road that claims that they're gender fluid because we have kids.
Of course, bro. Of course it's going to be like that. You know what I mean? And it will be like that everywhere. You know what I mean? For every few that you have, you'll have a big section of 10 or 20. know that. You know what I mean? That will be pushing for them to either move out the area, or again the lynching sort of thing where someone will take it upon themselves to try and do something, and people will back that. I'm telling you now, people will follow that person into whatever fire they want to walk into. Know it? That's what I truly believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's a scary thing, innit? You know what I mean? Not only that, the fact of that 1 minute you want to be an 8-year-old, you know what I mean? Like, and then the next day you want to be a man, you want to be a normal
that is
like
100% mental illness.
To me, that's not being
that's
fluid
mental
or
illness.
That's just you being like, sorry, paedophilic. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, that's what it is to me.
Yeah,
you know
to me this is justification for, it's like basically you only have to look at who makes the laws and who's the people making all the laws to see, you know what I'm saying? Like when you realize these people have been charged with X, Y, Z before, and then they're making laws. So really, the people who make the laws, they make the laws because that's what they believe. And, this is stemming from the people at the top. So essentially, that's what they believe. So that's what they're pushing, and then eventually reaches us. At which point we don't believe it, but it's too late because that's what they're pushing.
It goes into, and I mean, I think the worst thing is that this age fluidity thing, it's gonna be like the rest of this weird movement where they're gonna be Remember when they had the trans movement, and then they said, in schools, boys who think they're girls dress up as girls and they can go into the girls' toilets and all, and then they had a big hoo-ha about it. That this is going to be accepted and not only accepted, but it's going to be told to the kids, like, listen, if you don't accept these people, you're going to get in trouble. And this
but I just think, how are you going to be able to integrate into schools and that it's acceptable for an adult to be near a child that way? I'm sorry, I believe there's no other way. There's no way to integrate that.
Listen.
And the parents will not have that.
But
the parents will make sure that is not going to happen, bro.
But the thing is, 20 years ago, they would have said exactly the same thing with the trans movement. That would have said, what do you mean? You're going to have little boys going into little girls' toilets? That's never going to happen. I'm not going to have that happen.
But that's what I'm saying about. But that's what I'm saying about how the gender thing. You see how the gender is like, can't make it big, man. But the gender thing is like same as the transhumanism. So they're merging the same way they're merging us with robots or humans with robots and chips. They're trying to change genders and make normalization of everything to if you are against gay people, then you go to prison. If you're against lesbians, you go to prison. To that age shit we're talking about now, it's all relevant. It's all that control system.
I just don't see how anyone will be able to humanize something that has been drummed into our whole into generations that it's evil. It's the wrong thing to do. It's criminal. I don't know how anyone's going to have the power to change that view. I don't think there's anyone that can do that. And I don't believe, I know my view won't change no matter what anyone says. And I believe that there's going to be a lot of people that will be the same as me. My view's not going to change, mate.
Of course. I mean, look, my view is the same as yours, but I just think, the way they've done it is, it will be easy for, because we only know it's wrong because we get told it's wrong, and then obviously we grow and we realize it's wrong when we're old. But people who are born into thinking that's okay, they're never going to be told it's wrong. So therefore, for them, that's normalized. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear that. I do hear that, but the only thing I think right back now is them people there that are humanizing it within their own bloodline or family or whatever. I just don't think they've got the power, the money, or whatever sort of resources they believe they need. I don't think they have it to be able to change the masses, the 99% or the masses or whatever people want to call it. I believe that view will not change, and I don't want it to change, to be honest.
No, of course. I mean, we all have kids, and I think
man.
I think I don't want it to change as well, but and if anything, this is going to be the most difficult one. It's not like the chick in the skin where they paying is This is
another thing to cause chaos. But for me, another way to look at it is it's another way to cause chaos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is going to cause a mad lot of chaos. And I believe
disharmony.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be bad energy everywhere, mate. Everywhere. So, this is going to cause a madness everywhere.
So we were saying this has obviously been going on for time, yeah? When we're saying it's been going on for time, we know that the actual deviant sexual acts are going on for time, but the acceptance of society, has not been there, and obviously we've seen in the last 6 months the amount of chaos that's been thrown into our lives and misinformation that's been fed to us to basically confuse us as a mass. And like you're saying as well, with the categorization, once you start adding more categories, there's going to be more wars, there's going to be more issues. I've got this other article which I saw a few days ago, I completely forgot about it, which completely like threw me off. I thought, what? Is this even real? So, I don't know if you've heard of an actress called Charlize Theron. Yeah, so she's obviously adopted 2 kids,
It's Charlize Theron.
That's the one, that's the one.
Charlize Theron.
She's adopted 2 black kids, 2 black boys.
Yeah.
And then as they've been growing up, she's made them wear girls' clothes, talk to them like girls, make them treat like girls, Now, these boys are now girls. So all the pictures of these kids are girls with long hair, tail back. They look like girls and everything else. How is this been allowed that an actress has been able to adopt black boy kids, and then turn them into girls, and they're still like, one of them's like 12, one of them's like 7 or something like that. They're still young kids, bruv. Like, they haven't had a chance to want to. And then she justifies it as saying, well, I feel like that's what they feel like, that they want to be girls. So instead of preventing them from being what they wanted to be, I've basically, because I've just given them everything they needed so that they can feel. What do you mean? How they don't even know they've got sexual organs by the time they're 12, man.
But you see the normalization now coming in, you see, because now, even though no one made her do that, she thinks in her head that it's all good. Because I have all these options, I'm allowed to. She can be gay, she can be lesbian, or she can be a girl or a transvestite, or in fact, she can just be a girl. We can switch it around completely. So because people are given that option, unfortunately, some people who want to gain limelight because they didn't have limelight for some time, they will try and jump on these little bandwagons and try and catch a publicity. And if it's not that, they genuinely want to do it because they're convinced. Whatever they're convinced, I can't even get into her brain.
That's sick. That's sick.
She's
you know what?
Convinced.
People talk about mental illness, man. This is what mental illness is.
But also, as we've actually we've pressed on it a few times in different situations of what we've been talking about. I still reckon it does come down to a level of money and a level of who's around her for them to be thinking like that as well. You know what I mean? I do believe that obviously there must be some influences with the people that she's around, which makes her think, well, that's what my kids want. Boom, I'm going to do that.
You know what I mean? I would say, I don't know where she resides, but, taking a rough guess at what all this stuff is happening, I would say if she lives in California or anywhere near there, then, of course, this is bound to happen to her or to people like that, because the circle they're around, like you just said, they're around VIPs who are discussing, adrenal crime, they're discussing magic. They're bored.
These big things, innit? What I know this, but I am, as again, this is all just, as I said, it's all alleged. We don't know what's truly going through her head and all that sort of stuff. But I'm just saying, my opinion, a way that it would sway. I'm not saying it is what it is, but I'm just saying a way it could sway is, well, what are you preparing your children for?
What? That's what I was gonna say.
What are you preparing them for? Truly, you know what I mean? That's just
It's
obviously
all-
that's just off. That's one tandem where the thought process could go for someone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, just think about it like this, guys. Imagine how the kid is gonna feel when he gets to 15, 16, maybe younger, maybe older, and he's like, shit, look at me, and he looks in the mirror and he realizes he has a piece, but he looks like a girl. He's gonna think, you know what I'm saying, what's wrong with my mother? So either she has issues, or he'll conform to it and he'll be one of those tight jeans skateboarding motherfuckers because he thinks it's normal. So I don't know which way you go, but there's only two options.
It's
Fight
crazy.
against mom or go with it. You know?
It's crazy because, like I was saying before, like kids are our future. Yeah? They're the ones that's gonna be making laws and making conformity in our lands, in our future. Yeah. Now, your number one, first things first, which really just annoyed me. Why adopt black kids? Yeah. Like I know that there's, you know, it's not like bad to do it. Yeah, but why would you do it like two black kids, two black boys, innit? Like
She did it. She did it,
like,
Jay, because I believe she did it in the way like, you know how
Madonna.
who was it? Like Brad Pitt way. You know, they're trying to.
Oh yeah, and
because-
yeah.
Well, basically, they know white people in general have it more easy. So, in my assumption, they're trying to either do it from the heart and give people who didn't have a chance a better chance of a future, or they're doing it for that, but for publicity
Malicious.
angle to make people think,
yeah.
oh, look at them, look how good they are. So it's one
But
of
still,
the
though, but to me, like I'm just saying, to me as an opinion, yeah, I still think whether it's publicity or whether it's from the heart, there's still something behind there for you to have that process
Yes.
to change them in the way you're changing them.
Yes.
No,
There's
the
something
change-
there, innit?
the change, yeah. But I'm saying, Jay said, you know, about how come that basically why did she choose the kids? And obviously, I couldn't answer because I'm not her. But seeing from a broad scale, most of them do
Yeah.
because they think that black people, if they leave them, they will
Yeah.
have a less chance of success. But that's the wrong way to think because they have just as much chance in Africa as they do here. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
But that was
Yeah.
that was the first part of the upset. Why I picked black kids, but then why do that and then feminize them? Why didn't you just get two black girls?
Well,
Why
that's
are you getting
another
two black
thing.
boys?
Yeah, but this is where the whole twist in it comes into it. Because look now, like you just said, she could have gone and got two girls, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes what happens to people is, because I know somebody personally who this happens to, is they adopt, you know, for example, girls or boys, and they realize, sugar, I wanted girls. Boys
Oh,
are this
mate.
way and that way. I prefer this way and that way. And so they feminize them in order to suit the life they wanted. But, you know, how wrong is that? You know, you got what you were given. And if that was the ones, if they were actually yours and you gave birth to them, I guarantee she wouldn't do that. So, you know, you're treating them like a doll because you bought them, basically, and which is wrong, or adopted them. So, you know, you know, they're not treating them like it's their own, because I've never seen white parents get white babies and then turn them into a girl or a boy, or the opposite. You know what I mean?
But then what happens, yeah? What would happen if what would happen if these kids decided to rebel against what she wanted to do? What happens if they were like, nah, I'm not wearing a dress?
What happens? Yeah,
What
what happens then?
What would happen? What would happen?
Well, at their ages now, they'll just get licked down and made to do it. But when they get older, that's when you'll hear about it, probably in the news. He could go on drugs, he could get addicted to drink, he could just flip out on mama and say I'm leaving, or he could just go with it, and the next time you see him is when he's 15 in the paper in tight jeans, like a gay with long hair and stuff, you know. So that's, I don't know, you know, nothing against gays, whatever, each to their own. But why are you going to make them gay if they're not gay? Or, I mean, another gender, because it could essentially flip them into the gay as well. It could
Come on, man.
flip their whole...
You know how not even dangerous, how abusive that is for a kid like to impose beliefs and behaviors that is not natural to the human being. That psychologically will damage them and emotionally
that is serious
smash
programming
them.
to me, isn't it? Serious programming.
Yeah, mate. That's that grooming stuff them people
Yeah,
do, innit? Like they get kids to do
even chemically. How can a boy have testosterone in his gonads, and then the mom is gonna make her pretend like she's got estrogen? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mad.
It's like,
mad.
you know,
I just think it's crazy.
Yeah, because they're gonna get angry like boys, and they're gonna want to let it out and all that, but they're gonna be girls, so they're essentially trapped in that body and can't release it.
Yeah, for real.
It's so mad because it's like they tried to push it into the schools, yeah, and they had a lot of backlash from a lot of parents and that. But now they're just making it so it's commercially normalized, like you're saying, so that the parents who gave the backlash can now start getting used to seeing that as a normal thing. So when their kids go through it themselves, they're not so defensive about it, innit? Like these people.
I hear that, but I still think that there's a little pattern towards that. Obviously, like with them, so for them, they can try and make it more accepted and push it into things like schools. That's why they always say, boom, let's bring something out that's worse than what that was. So everyone starts thinking about that, and we can just bring this in gradually. Like, you see what I'm saying? And it's been a pattern that they've tried to use over and over again for numbers upon numbers of years.
Pick up yourselves, everyone. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Press this button here right now. Jeez.
Yo, press this big red button.
Press this button. Here.
Yeah, button. Button. Red one.